Hi everyone, this is Ahmed, head of speaker series and workshops at DataSoc. For our very first event, myself and Sirsha interviewed Sai, who's a senior consultant at Ernst& Young. Sai has a technology background. He did his bachelor's in IT and he also did a master's in technology. And then he decided to switch to consulting and he did another master's at Smurfit that's in organizing, planning, and management. uh, we chatted to Sai for about 30 minutes and asked him questions that we wrote down as well as questions that you guys sent in. And he did have very interesting answers that I think will help you all. So do enjoy this first event, and there'll be many more to come. Thank you. Okay, it's recording now. Sirsha, I'm gonna mute myself, and Sirsha, you can ask the questions.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sirsha. I'm head of member recruitment. Thank you so much for coming. It's really good to meet you. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Sisha. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. First of all, my name is Sainath, and I'm currently working as a senior consultant in EY. Before joining EY, I was working with Deloitte in Ireland and financial services company back in the India and the UK as well. So um, my specialization is focusing on large-scale transformation programs at various clients and helping them achieve their transformation goals. So that's my key focus in EY. And how I landed the job in EY is I came to Ireland to do my master's after working a couple of years in the financial services firm in India. I came here to do my master's in strategic management and planning. And after that, during my master's, I interacted with a lot of people in Ireland through the meetup.com. I went to various meetups and then participated in a couple of startup weekends and all those kind of things. Uh, just expanded my network, and that's how I got my first job with in Ireland with Deloitte. And later on, I saw an opportunity with EY, and I was more interested, and that's how I landed in it. That's a little bit
Amazing.
about myself.
So you've done a lot. Sounds really, really interesting. So you studied IT up to a master's level, and you also worked in IT. And we were wondering what made you make the switch to consulting?
So when I was working in IT, I was pretty much focused on the delivery side of things. So how do you deliver once the decisions has been made? How do you deliver the final solution to the end users? So, but when there was a point of time in my IT career where I went to the UK. I was involved. The client was going through a major IT transformation program. So I went to the UK to deliver that program. So then I was pretty much closely working with all the business stakeholders. Suppose, let's say, if you are taking a decision A, B, and C, how are we going? How are they arriving at those decisions? How are they making those decisions actually, which are pretty much aligned to the organization strategy? That fascinated me. So I was like, okay, I know how to deliver once the decision has been taken, but how these decisions were actually made. So then I researched on what are the best universities, and then I got Smurfit, and that's how I landed here. And although I was working in IT, it's a consulting. Cognizant is kind of semi-consulting and delivery firm. So I was always interested in consulting, but I didn't have those skills. So that's after the master. So that's how I ended up in consulting.
Okay, cool. It's really interesting. Um, so a few of our members asked a few different questions. And one of those questions was, how did you make that switch from IT to consulting? And did your second master's help a lot with that? Do you think it was necessary?
So yeah, so I would say when you talk about consulting, right? First thing
Yeah.
you want have to understand. If you understand what is consulting, then it will be pretty much easier at wherever your career stage is, whether consulting is right for you or not. So I'll tell about what exactly is consulting in basic layman terms, right? So when a client looks for a consultant, you are actually going and providing them some value or insights based on your past experience. It can be, suppose if you talk about IT consulting. So I have experience in delivering IT programs for a fair amount of level. So, and then the client is stuck in some way. So you're going to go and help them based on your previous experience. See, this is what we have done in the previous firm, or this is what I have done in the previous project. These are the industry best practices which you can follow, which will help you to succeed in this project. So that's what a consultant typically do. So experienced consultant. When you talk about graduates, they come in, they understand, they work with the senior consultants and the managers in the firm, and they gain the experience on the job. So there are two sides of it. If you join as a graduate, you learn through your job experience on the job in the consulting itself. Or if you are coming from the delivery side of things, then you need to gain enough amount of knowledge so that you can transfer those skills when you go into consulting and say, hey, this is what I have done in my previous project or previous thing. So when I was looking into roles in consulting, I was looking for roles where I can leverage my previous experience. So as I said, I was involved in an IT transformation program previously. So I was looking for a role which is pretty much focused on transformation programs. So I can say when I went to EY and I'm working with a financial services firm now in Ireland, they're also going through a transformation program. And then I had experience in delivering projects previously as part of my IT role. So I told, see, I have delivered so many number of projects previously in IT. Okay, and you are also looking to transform how you deliver projects here. So that experience I can bring, and that's how I sold myself as a consultant, where I can leverage my previous experience. So if you are a graduate, then really focus on what you would like to do, because you will learn through the job, and then you will enjoy it as well. And if you are an experienced IT delivery guy or something focused on really technology, then while you are applying for roles, really focus on the roles where you can leverage your previous experience into the consulting world.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm just going to switch over to Ahmed now. He's going to ask you a few questions. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Sirsha.
Thanks, Teacher. So that's a great answer, Sai. Thank you very much. I was just wondering as well, like did you do your second master's in order to switch to consulting, or was that something extra that you wanted to do? That was a question that many of our members were wondering as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of there are two parts of this answer. So right, first, in my career, in long term, not maybe now, but maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, I don't know. I want to open up my own company, own technology firm, something of that sort, some product company. So this master's really helped me to achieve those skills in terms of what is entrepreneurship. It took me a step closer to the entrepreneurship, right? So I didn't even know what is a business model canvas till I joined UCD. So in the strategic management planning, they introduced me to the 101 of entrepreneurship, business model canvas, how to do like high level, profit and loss statements. And then it had a really good course on negotiation skills. So if you start a startup and then if you are looking to exit and sell to somebody in the market, how are you going to value yourself and all those kind of things. So that's one of the main reasons why I chose to do this master's, because I don't know at later point of time I will have the time and then resources to do this master's again. So that's why I took the decision early on to help my long-term goal. And the second reason is it did help me to achieve a role in consulting. So when I talk about when I went to the interview, only one thing I told them is, see, in this master's, I learned decision-making techniques. So when things are uncertain and then you want to take key decisions, these are the techniques which I will apply to take those decisions. So that is one of the modules in our course, which is called decision-making techniques, and how business stakeholders take those decisions using decision trees or whatever complex techniques they use. So that really helped me to get my job. But one of the key reasons was, to help my long-term goal of going into entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you for that answer. So you wouldn't say it's necessarily to have so you can go into, say, I'm doing computer science right now personally, and say, right, I'm going to consulting. is it like some sort of a requirement for me to do a different course, or can I go straight from computer science into consulting? Do you think?
You can definitely. So when you talk about consulting, so if there are two, so if you talk about EY, there are two service lines. One is business consulting and another one is technology consulting. So when you talk about business consulting, you might be working with public sector clients. For example, let's say you might be helping HSE with their COVID strategy. Okay, because they might not necessarily have their right skills. Everybody is focused on frontline and doing service in HSC. So as a consultant, you might go and help them. Suppose, let's say we have to distribute 100,000 masks. Okay, what is the strategy and all those kind of things. So those kind of things, when they are looking to recruit graduates in business consulting, they might look for people. Mostly they will look for people who are with a business degree or management consulting. But when you talk about technology consulting, they will be looking for people who has technical experience, because what you are essentially doing is, let's say a business has 10 million to invest in their digital transformation program next year. So what kind of softwares they need to implement, what kind of projects they need to implement, how do they upgrade things, and all those kind of things. So definitely you can go into technical consulting, but if you want to go into business, it is better if you choose business oriented.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. Two related questions. So obviously many of UCD students do aspire to work at a consulting firm such as EY. So like, what do you think, what's needed to ace an interview at such a consulting firm? And like, so what are the hard skills, for example, that you need as well to be able to work at a company such as EY?
So it's a very hard question to answer, because things are, so when you talk about graduate level, it's a little bit more competitive, because there are so many people at graduate level looking to work for any of the consulting firm, not just EY, like PwC or Deloitte. So so you need to have a good resume. Okay, so that's obviously the first thing, and then you need to really focus on the key differentiators between you and others. Suppose, let's say you are running DataSoc, right? So that's a big advantage. So you straight away prove that you have ability to lead a team, okay, or at least ability to work in a team environment, and then you also have good communication skills, and then you also have good time management and then task management skills, because there are so many things which you will be doing in DataSoc, and you are managing the time and as well as resources to do that. So if a person who has not part of any of these societies, just done his degree and has 1:1, and there is you running DataSoc, then definitely you will be picked. So find something. I would advise people to do something out of their curriculum, and then do some extracurricular activities. Go and join a society, or run a meetup or something like that. Something interesting which can, these skills will definitely directly be transferable to your work environment, right? So if you just have academic skills, you will not make it through the cut. So you need to have something extra to go into consulting.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. So many questions came in as well about the types of projects that EY works on. So many of our members are computer science students, naturally. So like, they're wondering, what kind of tech projects do you work on in a consulting firm? Because someone who's always thinking computer science might not think a consultancy firm would have that big of a tech project. And as well as tech projects, what kind of, what variety of projects do you guys work on other than tech as well?
So recently we have, EY has launched, so before June 2020, there was a different strategy for our firm. Every year they change the strategy at a higher level, from the US till whole world. So as part of the new firm strategy, we are investing heavily on technology consulting this year. So there are really exciting projects going on. I cannot space the specifics of the projects, but I'll say briefly about, so let's say RPA is one of the key key things which we are looking at this year. So everywhere we are trying to look out. So for example, let's say if you take about me, I'm project management, right? So we help deliver people big large scale transformation programs and manage those projects for them, right? So every week we will be doing some status reports or financial reports. These are all manual tasks, mundane tasks, repetitive. Every week the same. We will do the same thing. So as a technology consultant, if you come into EY, what you do is you identify the process which are manual, right, and which can be automated, and then you make a business case around it, saying that, hey, let's say if you automate this process using RPA, using UiPath or Blue Prism or whatever, you'll save 100 million a year or something like that, or you will save two resources, full-time resources cost. So that's one part of it. And there are other side of consultants which we are investing heavily on right now, which we already have, but investing heavily on, who is focused on only delivering. So once the management consultant or technology consultant guy has created this business case, saying evaluated, and there's this guy coming and implementing whole end-to-end RPA process and automating it. So EY has whole IT delivery or service integration consultants. So it's up to you. Once you come into once you join the firm, they will ask you, based on your interest and based on your skill set, you can take up whatever role you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you talk about non tech consulting, as I said, like you might be working with public sector right now, public sector and government agencies working on COVID strategy, and then there is interesting pieces going on return to office. Let's say if you see the Dogpatch Labs or any of the WeWork or any of these places where so many people are coming to work every day and everything is hot desking. So now with the COVID, you don't have the luxury of hot desking. You need to sit on the desk, in the same desk 9 to 5. So how do organizations return to work, or how do they restructure their work environment? All these kind of things are part of the business consulting.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you. Um, so obviously, most of us are college students in DataSoc. So we were wondering, so as part of your college experience, whether it was the bachelor one or the master's one, what was the most helpful thing, and what was something that you wish there was more of? What was something that if you go back to college, you'd be like, okay, we don't do enough of this in college, so I'll do more of it by myself. Is it like, for example, more coding or more consulting workshops, something like that?
I will focus on my master's thing, right? So when I joined master's in Smurfit, UCD Smurfit, in strategic management planning, one thing which I really liked is obviously the professors and in the syllabus, the course structure. It's very, very good. It will tell you from 101 to a certain level in terms of entrepreneurship or decision making or negotiation skills. So the things and techniques and the methods which I have been taught are very, very good. They are practical focused. There are case studies, and then that's one thing which I liked. We used to do case study on each and every topic and method which we have been told. But one thing I didn't like much is when you see maybe this is I don't know, maybe this is because we only have 1 year to do our masters. But when I see the UCD main campus in Belfield, and then the undergraduate guys, they have so many societies and then so many something like DataSoc or anything like that. So they interact more with the industry, or they have something to do out of their course. Here in Smurfit, it's up to you. There are resources, and obviously Dublin is quite resourceful. You don't need necessarily the Smurfit or UCD to learn few things. You can go outside and do it on your own. But I felt that there is room for improvement on how these kind of societies or extracurricular activities or community of practices, whatever you call them, can be incorporated in the master's code, or they can be brought more closer to the master students as well, because they will also have, not necessarily everybody will have the interest, to go and Google and research and join these societies, right? So if that has been brought into the masters world as well, it would have been great. That's one thing.
And is there something that you as a student think you should have done more back then? Now you look back and you're like, I probably should have done more of that. For example, if I look at myself in first year, I'd probably be like, you should do more coding outside of your curriculum. So like, is there something like that for you?
Definitely. Like maybe in my bachelor's, I was like pretty much like any other undergraduate guy. I was just focused on getting my just assignments done, and that's all, no more coding at all. But yeah, if I would have done more coding, I would have gone into the solution architect path, which is quite rewarding now rather than consultant. But yeah, it's up to what people do like and not like. And but anyway, coming back to the point, yes, definitely, uh, definitely do. There are, suppose if you talk about data science specifically, right? There is an open data project which is run by European Union as well as Irish government. You might know already, opengov.ie. If you go into that, there are so much data on it. Um, Not many people in business analytics, if you talk about Smurfit, go and code and use that data to generate some wonderful projects uh, outside the course curriculum. So if you go and leverage that, and then leverage all the open source programs and do coding, you can achieve so many more things. Definitely, I feel that not in my master, since it's not related to coding, I don't have any regrets. I think I have pretty much done um everything what I can do, because I learned those lessons in my bachelor's. I didn't do much coding, and I didn't do much what to say. I didn't put much focus outside my just college curriculum. So yeah, definitely. If you are in data science, definitely do coding. Definitely, if you are not so interested in coding, you can choose just visualization itself. You don't need coding at all for visualization. You can generate rich insights just using the visualization tools and the data. So definitely, yeah.
That's something that many data science students want to hear, I can assure you, because most of us are not into coding that much, I would say. um, anyway, so just one last thing, the last question. I was going through your LinkedIn yesterday, and I saw it's a great LinkedIn, by the way. I
Thank
saw
you so much.
an interesting thing. You won the EY Impact Award in 2019, and I would
Yeah.
just like I would love to hear about that if you would like to tell us about it.
So it's an award given to the people who made impact at client side by delivering good work, and then clients also had given good feedback based on my performance. So um, well, I cannot reveal much about my client work because I don't know whether it's
Yeah.
confidential or not. But what I would say is it's a large transformation program, 1 year transformation program, and we had around we had many resources in that project. And because of a lot of reasons, sometimes people don't like you, the client doesn't like you, or you don't like the project. Sometimes it's so tough because what we are trying to do, uh, the client likes. But suppose, let's say, if you're going through a big transformation project or big thing, if you're trying to change if you're trying to change how people work day to day, some people not like it, but the client wants it. But the day to day guys, like who is actually doing it, they might not like it. So they might give you faces, and because of that, you might not like the project. So for whatever reason, after I joined the project, there were so many people who chose to get off the project. Okay, and then some people, client didn't like it, so they rolled off. So I was the one who stuck for 1.5 year almost in the same project. And then when I started in that project, I didn't know some of the IT tools. And then after the end of the year, I became an SME. Whoever has the whoever has a doubt or whoever has a question on that particular tool and on that particular project and that particular framework which we have built for that client, um, all the questions are coming to me. Um, and I have been uh, have been extended on the same project for 3 times. Client requested for an extension, so that's why I got the impact award at EY from EY for delivering good work. But it's a so if you have willingness to learn, and if you are good at problem solving, and if you have good communication skills, these are the 3 main things to become successful as a consultant. Problem solving skills. What is your approach? Is your approach right? Always check on your approach. If you're not sure, check with your seniors and make it right. And then if you have good communication skills, and then if you have willingness to learn, you will definitely become a successful consultant. So that's what I did. That's why I got the award.
That's great. Congratulations on the award, and thank you very much for this. I think we're done with the questions. Sirsha, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask?
No, I don't, but congrats with the award. Really, really impressive. And everything's been really, really interesting to hear.
Thank you, Sirsha. Thank you, Ahmed. If you guys have any more requests or to